The first 5 episodes of Cobra Kai Season 6 have dropped on Netflix just a few days ago, so here are my thoughts on it. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a bunch of movies, and in this case, TV shows on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share what you thought of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1, which is the first 5 episodes that dropped over on my channel. I have more content like this. Check those out once this video is over. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button and be sure to subscribe. And that really would help a lot. With all that said, let's just get straight into it, straight into this review. And I'm probably just going to do all of this in like one take. And so, simple thoughts on Cobra Kai Season 6, the first 5 episodes. I thought the show, obviously I've enjoyed the show in the past. I thought Season 5 kind of dipped in quality a little bit, but I still thought it was a very good, very enjoyable season of the show. I thought the first 4 seasons, though, were absolutely, great. I love the first 4 seasons of this show, where they're just so good at delivering drama that feels earned. It has satisfying setup and satisfying payoff. It just does a bunch of things really well. And Season 5, even the show that I think, season that I think is the most flawed, it still has some meaning to it by the end of it. Where at the end, I feel like it was really satisfying, and I actually thought Season 5 was the best possible conclusion to not only the show, but the entire franchise. Which is why, unfortunately, I went into Season 6 a little bit skeptical, because I wasn't sure how they were going to continue the show after Season 5. Because I just thought Season 5's ending was so good and natural to the entire grander story of not only Cobra Kai, but the entire Karate Kid franchise. When it comes to Cobra Kai Season 6, the first 5 episodes, I found these episodes still watchable and entertaining because I just like these characters and I enjoy watching more stories in this world. Therefore, I watched this season all the day that it dropped back in Thursday. And so that was the best part about it, is that it was watchable, entertaining. I was excited to check it out, albeit a little bit skeptical, but it was still entertaining. And I thought the best aspect of it was the relationship they developed between Sam and Tori, where it builds off their characters off the previous seasons and what their relationship really meant, and it finds a way to really continue those in a satisfying manner, where these are 2 characters that absolutely hated each other's guts in the previous seasons, and they actually learn how to be friends with each other and how to bond. And I thought that was easily the best aspect of the show, because it built upon the previous seasons in a way that I thought was satisfying with those 2 characters. But in general, I felt that this was easily the most flawed season yet. And this is coming from somebody that has really enjoyed the show up until this point in time, where I thoroughly enjoyed the first 4 seasons. Season 5, it dropped a little, but like I said, it's still a very good season. But this season is a bigger dip in quality, where it's much more of a mixed bag for me. Much more of like a mixed positive, I would say. I enjoyed watching it, but I just had so many problems with it. And first off, there's just some lapses in logic, where at the end of Season 5, they wrote a plot line where Kreese escapes from prison. Here, if you watch the trailer, he's in South Korea, or supposedly in South Korea, and it doesn't bother explaining how he got there. This escaped fugitive that escaped prison, it doesn't bother explaining how he gets there, and you're just supposed to accept that. The first time you see him, he's already there. And there are just lapses in logic right here, right off the bat, and that's what I felt every time Kreese showed up. I was just asking that. And you could tell by this point in time, the show has simply run out of characters and plot lines to actually satisfyingly continue. In which case, in the previous 4 seasons, or previous 5 seasons, The show had drama that felt earned between the characters and set up character arcs that actually worked. Here, they try to restore that, but the problem with that is because Season 5 was such a natural conclusion to the entire franchise, as every plot line with the characters is already resolved, they're just kind of redoing characters here. Where Daniel and Johnny in the season are still really struggling to be senseis again, something that we've seen before, but in doing so this time makes them a bit more unlikable. And I really mean that when I say that, because they've already done this before, and they should know how to be senseis together because they're actual friends. But since it's just redoing all this, it has things in it that make them look a little bit more self-destructive for the sake of drama. And you can really feel this especially with Johnny, where it's struggling to find, like, after Johnny and his arc at the end of Season 5, it's trying to find a way to make him a little bit more mature, but it's also trying to make him fun. But once you make him more mature, well, as he should be, you lose the fun in Johnny. So they bring the fun in Johnny a little bit in here, but once you do that, it cheapens his arc a little bit. So you can feel the show competing with itself, with not only him, but a bunch of other characters. And it tries to do some new and a little bit more interesting drama, especially with characters like Johnny, Daniel, Devin, Miguel, and Dimitri. I think those are the 5 characters that are made a little bit more arrogant and unlikable by this season. Where, especially Devin, where she's just so arrogant in the season, so unlikable, goes off the rails with what they do with her in this season. It just makes her so unlikable. But that's really kind of the tension struggling with the season in itself, as it's trying to satisfyingly continue the characters, but in doing so, since they all already had their arcs, there's no reason for them to continue. In which case, it makes them a little bit more unlikable than they used to be. I don't want to go full in depth into that right now, but that also leads into our next problem here, where in order for Daniel to have like internal drama and sort of a story going on with him, that he's learning more about Mr. Miyagi, it just introduces to me these absolutely stupid ideas about Mr. Miyagi, where what they reveal in it kind of just, it's off-putting. It makes the original Karate Kid and the franchise as a whole look a little bit worse with what they reveal in here. And it's all for the sake of just having him have internal drama. I just didn't think that sat well with me at all. I think that kind of shatters the legacy of the Karate Kid a little bit. And our final thing here is the main plot. The main plot is about them training for a world tournament, and I simply don't care about this world tournament, if I'm being honest. And the simple reason for that is that there's not a good enough motivation for why these characters are training for this world tournament. As their motivations, as explained in the first conversation of this season, kind of come out of nowhere. I'm not sure what they gain out of winning this world tournament. And so, because I don't really know why the characters are trying to win the world tournament, or because they couldn't find a good reason as to why they want to win the world tournament, I, as a viewer of the show, don't care about the world tournament. And that is what this entire thing is based around, which means I don't care about the setup, and I don't feel like I'll care much more about the payoff, or if they win, or anything like that. So for me, while this show is still watchable and entertaining, the best aspect of it was just Sam and Tori, and that was pretty much it. I still thought it was watchable, but it's easily the weakest season by far, and that's coming from somebody that's really enjoyed the show. And so, unfortunately, I don't really know that this is a satisfying way to continue it. But those are just my thoughts on Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 1. Down below in the comment section, share what you thought of these episodes. On my channel, I have more content like this. Check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one.